Y'all have no idea how excited I got when I saw this plant in the nursery. Now you might be thinking to yourself, why? It's just a boxwood. Well, no, I have sold thousands and thousands of boxwoods, and I've never seen a boxwood in a nursery with this. Check this out, right here. This has an absolutely amazing trunk and base, and you know what I gotta do? I gotta turn this into a bonsai tree, because yeah, why wouldn't I? This is a boxwood from New Gen Boxwoods, and this one's called New Gen Freedom. And for whatever reason, when they sent us this batch of boxwoods, all of them had really thick and interesting looking trunks, which is highly unusual for nursery boxwoods. All good quality bonsais have a good base. In Japan, they call it the nabari, and that is where the trunk meets the ground. And the nabari is critically important to the design. In fact, it kind of sets the tone for the entire tree. So when I saw the nabari of this tree, that it already has these exposed roots, it already has the moss, it already has this bark that's just gnarly, I got so stinking excited, and I gotta work on this tree. So a couple of things though that are very important for bonsai, aside from having a nice nabari, is one of the things that they do is they reduce the crown size of the plant. And what that'll do is it'll make the trunk look bigger, because right now you've got this nice looking trunk, but because the top is so big, it kind of dwarfs the size of this trunk. So by reducing the top of the plant, the bottom's gonna look much more dramatically big. The other thing that bonsai artists do is they reduce the size of the root ball and put these plants into smaller pots, which in turn makes the top part of the tree and the trunk look larger because it's not dwarfed by a huge pot. Today, we're just going to focus on the top of the tree. I'm not going to do any root work to this plant just yet, because typically with bonsai, you do one offense per year. And the big offense we're gonna do right now is we're going to greatly reduce the top of this tree. So let's get to it. Okay, so what I'm doing right off the bat is just reducing the size. So I'm finding the tallest branches and cutting them down shorter. I'm not going through and thinning anything yet. That'll come next. The next thing I'm gonna do is look for any branches that are growing from the bottom side of a branch downward, because those are really weak branch junctures, or looking for branches that are too clustered together. And if there's 3 branches together, I typically will eliminate the middle one and allow a wider branch gap like that. You thought I was gonna flip off the camera. I didn't. Another thing I'm doing is I'm rotating it, trying to figure out which way looks like the best front of the tree, because it's important in bonsai to pick out a front that's always going to be facing the audience or the viewer that's looking at it. I have a couple of ideas, but I haven't settled on anything yet. Typically though, the front of the tree is going to be the part where the nabari is the widest when you're looking at it. It has so many cool angles. I can't decide which one would be the front. The other thing we want to do initially is kind of get it into a triangular shape of some sort. Doesn't have to be symmetrical, but that always makes it look nice. Okay, so a lot of times when I see something that makes for a potential front, I'll mark it with a piece of wire. I'm just gonna put this loop in here where I think the front of this tree could be, and then I'll keep coming back to that and seeing if I like it. So you see that loop right there? Now, one reason why I like this a lot is this thing has 2 trunks. So it's got one here and one here, but when you rotate it just right, it makes this illusion that it's all one wide trunk. So that's something I was looking at there as a potential front. So if we're gonna go with that as the front for now, another thing I like to do is cover up some branches with my hand, and I can see that if I take this away, the shape of the tree improves. So I'm gonna go ahead and prune that off. That looks more like that triangle that we're going after. Okay, one more big decision here. This branch right here, I kind of hide it. I think we can do without it because it's just a little bit too bushy with this branch. Let's take it off. Look at all that we took off of this plant today, and pretty dramatic finish. Now, one thing I've learned about bonsai is that it's not gonna all get done in one session. So I'm gonna be patient with this. That's just my initial shaping of this, and I'm gonna keep working on this all throughout the next few months and years with this awesome little tree. So yeah, there's your before, and now your after.